everyone. So nice to be here, as always. And for this week's Gospel Moment, I bring you the following passage that's found on chapter 10, page 134. It is item 9. It is Matthew 7, 3 through 5. And it reads, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." And now here we see Jesus as a precursor to modern psychology. And how so? If we take this passage and summarize it into one word or one term, we can use the term that was conceived by Sigmund Freud, which is projection. And what is projection? When we project, we externalize whatever behavior we do not like within ourselves onto someone else. In essence, if we identify someone doing something that we do not like, that is representative of something within us that we are not happy with. And that is what this means. And this projection is nothing more than also pride, because pride clouds our senses. It clouds our judgment. So what we need to do in essence is work on our own issues. Instead of trying to outwardly externalize or indirectly work on this by subconsciously placing your own problems on someone else, you need to first focus on yourself. Remove this pride and humble yourself so you can cleanse yourself. Remove that speck from your own eye. And this is what Jesus means here in this passage. And what we need, in essence, is a mirror to accompany us at every day and every moment of our lives. Because with this mirror, what happens is, every time we do something we do not like, we see a reflection of ourselves. So we must mentally always picture this with us, because this is a way to exercise whatever it is we're not happy with that is within ourselves, within us, behaviors we do not like. And this is a great message because you can actually take it in its literal sense and it still makes a great impact. Even back then in the era of Jesus, this made a lot of sense to the Hebrews of that era, because how can you possibly think that you can see anything clearly with a speck in your own eye? Obviously, the speck is going to distort your vision, cloud your vision, and this cloud is nothing more than a haze of pride where you think you're actually seeing something you do not like, but the problem is actually within you, because in this cloud, it is so thick, this cloud of pride, that you see a reflection of yourself committing that deed that you do not like, instead of actually realizing that it is yourself. So when you remove that speck from your eye, all of a sudden that cloud disappears, and you're able to see past it, because you've cleansed yourself. And now when you look at someone else, instead of criticizing them, because you no longer harbor anything or any sort of resentment within you, you only harbor love because you've purified yourself. When you look at that other individual, instead of criticizing them, you want to help them. You want to care for them. You want to love them. You want to be patient with them, compassionately, act compassionately with them, and things like that. And it is like an eyelash. No one here likes an eyelash in their eyes, correct? If an eyelash falls into your eye, you immediately get irritated. It scratches, it itches, and you want to rub your eye and get rid of it as soon as possible. And when you get rid of that eyelash in your eye, you feel instant relief. Oh, I'm so glad it's gone. Because now my vision is no longer blurred from rubbing my eye so much. I can see things clearly. And this is precisely how we need to treat our problems, the behaviors that we do not like within us, like this bothersome eyelash. What we need to do is take it and remove it as quickly as possible so we can see clearly. This is precisely what Jesus meant with this passage. And there is another great passage on chapter 10 as well. It is item 16. It is brought to us by a guardian spirit named Joseph in 1863 that summarizes what I've explained here under the perspective or the word tolerance. And I'm going to read this to you right now. And it goes, "Be critical of yourselves, tolerant toward others. Be mindful of the one who has the final word, God, who sees the innermost movements of your heart and forgives many, many times the faults you condemn, and condemns at times the ones you condone. Our Maker knows the motive behind every action. Those who so bitterly point at the misdeed of a fellow human being may, in the eyes of God, be guilty of even more harmful things. Always be tolerant, friends, for tolerance draws in peace and harmony. Intolerance only drains energy, drives people apart, and causes hard feelings. Thank you very much.